Channel 8, this is breaking news.
It was a day of violence and fear across our nation's capital after a shooting rampage at the Navy Yard. 13 are confirmed dead tonight, including the gunman, 34-year-old Aaron Alexis. 14 others were wounded in the attack. This morning, the scene at the Navy Yard was described as chaotic, and still at this hour, Navy officials are working with the FBI to get employees off the base.
As the world watches the events that unfold in the aftermath of yet another lethal shooting spree in the United States, this time at the Navy Yard complex in Washington, D.C. Monday morning, very sinister details are being uncovered and exposed in conspiracy forums on the internet. Astonishing details that you certainly won't be seeing on TV, pointing out to another false flag event orchestrated from behind the curtains of the shadow government and carried out by mind-controlled Manchurian sleepers.
34-year-old Aaron Alexis from Fort Worth, Texas, appeared in the foyer of the Navy Yard Building 197 at 8:15 a.m.
Apparently the Canada-based news website The Daily Courier knew about the shooting in Washington, D.C. at least 8 hours before it happened, because they published an article in collaboration with the Associated Press, Sunday night around 11:30 p.m. And it doesn't stop there, because although page shills and debunkers are claiming that the timestamp in question was caused by computer glitches or human mistake, it also has been exposed that the Google search tool had already cached the original link of Daily Courier's article 2 days before the rampage, and I'm having a really hard time believing it's just a coincidence, especially because the ABC News website also published a snippet from Associated Press with the same timestamp of Sunday. So I guess this not only rules out glitches and human mistakes, but also puts the spotlight in the original source of Associated Press in Washington, a woman named Lolita Balder, who supposedly have ties with the Pentagon, so you get the picture. More sinister details concerning the alleged number of suspects seem to point out to the existence of an apparatus to cover up tracks of other possible shooters, as was reported by multiple eyewitnesses, because later reports of mainstream media highlighted that local authorities and the FBI are making sure of ruling out at least 2 other suspects spotted wearing tactical gear and carrying guns at the crime scene. Sunday night, the version pushed by mainstream media was that the dead shooter Aaron Alexis was a lone wolf, but for how long they will manage to keep up this story.
But they couldn't be sure he was acting alone. Now, we've made mention of additional possible suspects in this case. After Alexis was brought down, police looking at security video and listening to witnesses were interested in 2 men, a white man in khakis who some people thought appeared to have a handgun. He was spoken to. He was ruled out as a suspect. But the lookout continues for a black man aged 40 to 50 who was seen wearing olive drab clothing, military type clothing, who in a security video appeared to have some sort of a long gun. So they'd like to talk to that person to see what was going on with him. But sources are telling us that they really just want to rule those people out. They believe that Alexis acted alone, although at this point nobody knows why.
We're also tracking developments outside the district. Law enforcement officers descended on a home in Stafford, Virginia earlier today following the shooting. Investigators at the Navy Yard found an ID card that belonged to the home's owner, who is identified as Rolly Chance. That led them to think that the man might have been involved in the shooting, and a few other media outlets reported that inaccurate information. Investigators now say that Chance had no role in the attack. Still, they're trying to figure out how his ID ended up at the scene of the shooting.
As you can see, there's a lot of evidence suggesting the presence of several suspects at the crime scene, but by some mysterious reason they are being ruled out of the ongoing investigations one by one.
Images have emerged on social media purporting to show U.S. servicemen speaking out against a looming strike against Damascus. People in military dress are seen posing in front of cameras with signs saying that they didn't sign up to fight with al-Qaeda in Syria. These pictures cannot be verified. The Pentagon is reportedly looking into the possible identities of those involved.
We should also be considering the flawless timing between this event in Washington, D.C. and Obama's fiasco on Syria, which triggered unruled manifestations inside the US military as well. Putting all these events in perspective, the odds are that the shooting spree at the Navy Yard was either a retaliation against the military, or a diversion created to take people's attention off the disastrous policy of the US government on Syria. Or yet another false flag event concerning gun control.